Hey, this is Brandon Hilgeman from ProPreacher.com, and today we're going to be checking out Sermonary. It's a brand new online tool offering to help pastors write and present their messages all in one online place. Now, a couple months ago, Sermonary launched on Kickstarter, and within 2 hours, they were fully funded. So obviously, pastors are looking for online tools to help them in the sermon preparation process, and Sermonary is stepping up to bat trying to help out with that. So when you first log in, you're going to see a dashboard with your sermons, and this is all the sermons that you've created in Sermonary, and you can archive them for later, but here's all your most recent sermons sorted here, and I've just created a few as I've been playing around with it a little bit. Obviously, the main thing that Sermonary is for is writing your sermon. So if you click over here to start a new sermon, you can do Write New. And here's what pops up. You get the Sermonary editor, which is a more visual editor that has some different blocks that you can move around, or the classic editor. One of the cool things about Sermonary is you also have pre-built templates or a custom template that you can create based on the way that you preach every single week. So just for fun, let's go click on a pre-built template. And here's what pops up. You got your traditional 3-point sermon, the me, we, God, you, we method that's Andy Stanley made popular, the verse-by-verse running commentary, defender's outline, children leader, youth pastor, and then obviously you can create your own if you have a different template. Just for now, let's go ahead and just click on the traditional 3-point sermon. So here's what it looks like. You're just going to enter your sermon title, and I'm just going to call it Super Big Faith. Let's say we're doing a sermon on faith, so we're going to preach on Hebrews 11:1. Big idea is you need faith. Or obviously, we'll put a little more thought into it when we're actually preparing a sermon here. And then you can click on the sermon series, so you can make it an individual. I created an Easter or Christmas one, or you can add a new series. So let's just call it New Series, Gotta Have Faith. Boom. There we go. And here's what it looks like. This is the template that they already imported for you. So you have an introductory section. You got point number 1, explanation, illustration, application, point 2, and so on, 3-point sermon. And so what you would do is you just click on the edit, and then you can go into the editor, and you can write your introduction. So then you'd have point 1. And these blocks are easily, you can move them around. So you can adjust if you want point number 1 to be further down here. Automatically it'll change it to point number 2 for you, and so on. And if you want to add a new block, you just click on one of these plus signs. You add a Bible verse, another point, an illustration, application, quote. So say you want to add your Bible verse. Now here's a little glitch right now. Obviously, this, like I said, Sermonary is a brand new application. They're still working out some of the bugs. I assume this will probably be fixed within a week or so, but once you do that, sometimes it freezes up on me. If I just refresh the page, it's there now. So your Bible verse, for say we're doing Hebrews 11:1. There you go. And you can place that wherever you want it. Another cool thing, if you want to add an illustration, you can import it from their library, or you can enter it manually. So if you want to choose an illustration, say you want an illustration on faith. Here's one that I tagged that I liked. You choose theirs, they automatically pull their illustration in there for you. Now you can also switch to the standard editor. And the standard editor is like a typical word processing document. You can fill out your ideas here, and then you can just write your sermon as you typically would right below. And one of the places that Sermonary really shines, if you click on the gear, you can go to Podium Mode. When you're in Podium Mode, your sermon pops up. You're not able to edit it, so it's just a stable page. You can scroll up and down your notes. And one of the great things about Podium Mode is the clock that stays on top right here. So as you're scrolling down, that clock stays right there on top, so you can always have the time right in front of you. So you don't need a separate app as you're presenting. You don't need to keep checking a clock in the back of the room. So if you have an iPad or a phone and you want to be able to present using that, you just go into Podium Mode and you got a clock there right on it. And one of the really cool features of Podium Mode is if you click on the gear, you can go to countdown time limit and say you only have 30 minutes to preach your sermon. When you go to that, you get a countdown timer now. So now you know the clock's ticking, and it keeps you honest about the time that you have to preach your message. You can also print off your sermon notes if you want to just have a piece of paper with you or a backup or bring that on stage. Another cool thing that Sermonary has, they have a little My Idea storage area. So you can add an idea like, hey, we need some more lasers, or idea number 2, ride a motorcycle on stage. I always wanted to do that one. There you go. Now, another thing that Sermonary is building up is their resources. If you click on resources, you can see some of their popular resources, some of their most recent ones. Here you got Bible book summaries, some of their sermon series, graphics, and all that. Now, these ones cost a little bit extra money, but all the sermon illustrations are free. So if you click on sermon illustrations, you can see their growing library of sermon illustrations. They keep adding over and over again. And these are the ones that you can pull into your sermon when you search for them, or you can scroll through and read ones you like. Say you like this one on sharing grief, you can add it to your library. And then the next time you pull up illustrations, that'll be highlighted and pop up there really easy for you. And there's definitely more coming soon. Overall, the countdown timer, Podium Mode, dedicated place to store all my sermons is what makes Sermonary most promising for me. The concept is brilliant, and based on my experience and the proof of their Kickstarter, there is a need for an application like Sermonary. So that being said, I don't know if it's ready to make it my primary sermon writer just yet, but as the bugs are inevitably worked out and features are added, I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on Sermonary. It is definitely exciting to see more apps being developed to help pastors, and I can't wait to see what Sermonary comes up with. And this is definitely one in the future that could be the go-to sermon writing and delivery app. So if you're interested today, you can start a free trial at sermonary.co. Let me know what you think.